Welcome to Canine Code Puppy Class number 8. Good on you for all your work so far, and isn't it exciting that you're nearly ready to graduate now? Today I'll be talking about how to take control of activities, because remember, only give your puppy what it wants when it didn't ask for it. This includes activities, so only feed your dog when it didn't ask for it, only play with your dog when it didn't ask for it, and only allow a cuddle or a greeting or any kind of interaction when your puppy didn't ask for it, didn't demand it, didn't throw a tantrum. This session is just as much about training you as your dog. It's very important for me that you learn how to have good handling skills. This means not just thinking about how you move, but also thinking about how your puppy moves. So I like to compare it to partner dancing, because when you partner dance, even if you're the lead, you can't just do whatever you want. You need to actually be aware of your partner. So I've invited my patient husband to come and help me demonstrate just how difficult it is to dance with someone when they're not aware of who they're dancing with. And of course, in any beginner's dance class, you first have to learn your steps. So let's just say this is my first salsa class and I don't have the capacity yet to really think of my dance partner. Now just bear in mind, I'm the lead and Rob is the follow. So here I am, okay, I've learned my step, I'm gonna go, and I'm looking at my legs and I'm sure I'm doing it right, and I can't quite understand why my dance partner doesn't follow me any better, because I think I'm being really good at this, and I'm listening to the music and counting 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, good, I've got it. And of course, this is a necessary part of learning, but we need to move on from there. So this time around, before I even start, I'm going to just take a moment to feel my own breath, feel my partner's breath, and feel my feet on the ground. And from now on, I'm only going to initiate a step if I can feel that my partner is ready for that. I also think ahead of how I can best communicate what I want Rob to do. So now that I want him to step back on the side where my hand is up, then I press him back and then I pull him forward. And now I want him to switch sides, so I need to switch his weight, and then I can invite him to come a step towards me. Now, of course, this isn't about teaching you how to dance salsa, but try in your head to imagine that this is what you'll be thinking when you're training your dog. You need to plan ahead how you're going to demonstrate what you want them to do. And if I can feel that Rob's balance isn't in the right spot, then it's my job to change it before I change anything else. Yeah? Now that I want him to take a swirl, I'll bring my hand up and send him around. Thank you. Good. So, at home, when training with your dog, remember, take a breath, slow down, expand your bubble of awareness to include your puppy. Think about where is its attention, where is its body weight, which direction does it move to go into the position that you want them to be in. A classic example is when we're training sit and drop, and your hand is sliding away from your puppy. Remember how I kept saying push into their mouth, push in towards them, because in order for them to sit or drop, they have to put their weight backwards. Whereas if they're leaning forwards, they're likely to actually get up and walk. Of course, to train your dog to roll over is just a trick, but it's also an awesome way to practice your own handling. you'll have to look at the dog closely and see where's his body weight and where do you have to move your hand so that your body moves in a way that enables him to roll over. It's very important that you stay calm and perseverant in this exercise. If you keep giving up and retracting your hand with the treat, then your puppy will keep giving up as well. So take a breath, and just lower your shoulders, loosen up, and remember, hold your hands steady at your dog's lips. Avoid retracting all the time. Good. So here I am. I bring up my treat, which puts Baxter's head back, his bum goes down, then I bring it down towards his front paws so he goes into a drop. And from here, to get the rollover, I want him to lean onto the hip. Now, if his legs are on both sides of his body, I can go either way around. If his legs were only on one side of the body, then I would have to go towards his legs. Baxter, come on. Yeah, I need a bigger treat. Make sure that you have a big treat in your hand for this exercise because you'll have to release a little bit of treat halfway through. So I bring him down, then I bring him around towards his back feet. So now he's down on the hip. Once he gets down on the hip, I push into his mouth. That brings him back on his shoulders. And then I complete the circle up here at his lips. So in essence, I bring my hands around in a big circle, push up towards his lips, and then complete my circle. Let me show you again. Baxter, Baxter, come here. Make sure that you bring your puppy close into your body before you start, otherwise you'll soon be crawling around all over your floor. So I bring him down, he's got feet on both sides. I'm going to go towards his back feet. Bring him in. I let him lick at the treat. He's not really eating it, he's just licking it. There, I push into his mouth, back on the shoulder, and then I complete the circle. Roll over. I say roll over while he's doing it so that he creates an association between the word roll over and the action of doing it. Later on, I'll be able to simply do a movement similar to what I did with the treat in my hand, but with an empty hand, I'll be able to go roll over, and he'll follow me doing that. Okay. Around, in, and around. And around. Roll over. Yeah. So watch this with an empty hand. Baxter. I pretend I have a treat in my hand. Roll over. Yes. And he's just done the whole thing for an empty hand. He got a treat at the end, of course. It's too soon to fade them out. But he already understands what I wanted just from my signal. If I want to train my dog to roll over on its back and play dead when I say bang bang, then first train roll over and then progress like this. Baxter, come on, come on, yeah, come on, good. So I lead him down and then I bring him around to right on his back and then I point at him with two fingers like a gun and I say bang bang and I release some treat. Bang bang and release some treat. Bang bang and release some treat. Free! Very good. And I keep doing it over and over again. Bang, bang, release treat. Bang, bang, release treat. Bang, bang, release reward. Yeah, yeah, he's being a good boy. Good. He'll start expecting that when he lies on his back and I say bang, bang, there's going to be treats. And I'm going to use that to my advantage. Baxter, come. So I'm going to work backwards now. I first bring him into position. I go bang, bang, and release the treat. Now I'm going to bring him back down on his side, and I'm going to go bang, bang. And then he will try to get back into the position where he normally gets the treat. So watch that again. Bring him back onto his side. Let's just take this side and I'll go bang, bang. Yes, he rolls back up to get into the position where he knows he's going to get a treat. Now he won't even get out of it. Bang, bang. Yes. If you crumb, remember to pick up. Bang, bang. Yes. Free. Bang, bang. Yes. Always only release the treat if the dog is in the position you want them to be in. Bang, bang. Yes. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. I'm sort of leading him with the gun hand as much as I can. Bang, bang. To inspire him to get into the desired position. Baxter. How are you going to get that treat, huh? Bang, bang. Very good. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Yes. Can you see how he already knows which position he has to be in to get his treat? Bang, bang. Yes. Cheeky monkey you are. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Yes. Yeah, do you see him offering it? Good. The idea is that you start the command, saying bang, bang, and pointing at him at an earlier and earlier and earlier phase in the command. We started off with him being in the final position, but now, bang, bang, come, bang, 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 bang. It's a little early for him to do this. Bang, bang, good, I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that. Do you want to do it again? Huh? Do you want to do it again? Come. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Yes. And so you can see I'm helping him a little bit on the way. That's okay for now. Eventually, with more repeats, he'll get it and he'll be able to do the whole thing completely unassisted. The method where you take as much as you can get and reward them at that point is called shaping. With complex skills like this one, where he needs to lie down and then roll over in a particular position, it's great to use shaping because you'll rarely get the whole thing in one go. But you don't want to miss out the opportunity to reward your dog for doing something halfway. It's still a good effort at this point. Come. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Yes. And there you have it. Bang, bang. Yes. Are you really dead? Yes. Good boy. Remember how we used capturing technique when we were teaching your puppies to lie down? You don't want to use capturing for something that you don't want your puppy to do all the time. However, at this point with Baxter and his bang bang, I would use it perhaps just 4, 5, maximum 10 times just to really cement what it is I want him to do, and then I would stop using capturing from now on. I don't want him to come over and roll over at my feet every time he wants something, so I'm not going to overdo it. I'm just doing it a few times to make sure that he really understands the exercise. So I'm just going to use capturing 5 to 10 times, no more, because I don't want him to do it all the time. Bang, bang. But I just want him to understand what the exercise is all about. This one was a good one. Whee! Good boy. Do it again. Baxter. Bang, bang. Oh, very clever you are. Good. And you can see he's got it now. I don't need to use capturing anymore. You might have noticed in previous episodes that I tend to not talk much while I'm communicating with the dogs. That's because verbal language isn't the primary language for dogs. Imagine for a second that I decided that since Danish is my first language, then I would teach dog training in Danish. Og så taler jeg løs på dansk, og jeg snakker og giver instruktioner, og så siger jeg, læg dig på gulvet. Læg dig på gulvet. Læg dig. Can you see how it's not even fair to expect you to know what I just said and follow any instructions at all? So why would I do that when in fact we both speak English? In the same breath, why would I use verbal communication with my dog when in fact we both have body language? If you can communicate very, very clearly with your body, then your dog can understand you instantly. Whether it's motivated to follow your instructions will depend on whether you've built up respect and willingness to please. And that, of course, goes back to our magic formula: only give your dog what they want when they're not asking for it. For now, I'm going to show you a fun little exercise that doesn't have much use as such in terms of practicality with your dog, but it's brilliant in teaching you how to have good handling skills. What you'll need to think of here is how much energy to use, how to move your body, and even select your timing. Watch now as I'm going to instruct Baxter to stay over here and stay there while I walk away, then invite him and stop him halfway, and then invite him the rest of the way. I start off with using my magical scout fingers. Baxter. Good boy. Well done. Well done. This time I'm going to talk you through it and tell you exactly what I'm doing. First, I used my magnetic scout fingers. Your dog will only follow your hand like this if they're already used to you handing out treats. But you can see, as long as I move my hand near his nose and preferably lower than his nose, then he's willing to follow them just about anywhere. So first, I'm going to take him over to a particular spot. Then I stand up straight and show my stop signal hand. And I put on eyes that says, don't come near me. So here I go, and boom, standing up straight, showing my stop hand. And I wait until the question mark in his eyes drops away. They often sit, but not always. Take your time eyeballing. When I want him to come towards me, instead of facing him, I turn my side on, and then I gently, in a tentative way, sweep down and invite him, but then very abruptly lunge forward with a stop signal to stop him from coming further. So sweep down and stop, and sweep down more loosely so that it looks like a full invitation to come all the way. As you could see, the abrupt lunge was a little bit too much for Baxter. It's different from dog to dog, and even from moment to moment, how much energy to put into all these signals. And this is what the exercise is about. Feel your way. Practicing this little exercise will speed up your handling skills dramatically. So it's not about me wanting you to have a command where your dog stops halfway. That's really not much use in everyday life, of course, a fun trick, but nothing else. The purpose of this exercise is that you learn to really observe your dog and really see when and how much and how little energy you put into your signals. Remember, don't reward behavior you don't want. It's really important for me that you graduate with a clear understanding of how to train with treats and how to get rid of them. Today I'll be using the sit command as my example, but of course the technique covers all the different commands that you've learned. There's 3 phases. Phase 1 you're very familiar with, because that's the one where you have a treat in your hand. In phase 1, make it so easy that it actually just can't go wrong. You're showing your dog what it is the command is all about. For sit, I'm going to hold my treat at Baxter's lips, and then I'm going to bring it up towards his nose tip, leaning his head back. And when his head goes up, I push a little bit down towards his back legs, and that brings his bum down on the ground. I'll just do that again, making sure I don't crumb. So I hold the treat at his natural nose height, then bring it up to the tip of his nose, push a little bit into his mouth, and his bum goes down on the ground. I say sit when he sits, and I hold my hand there on his lips until I go free. Remember, it's important to use a release command like free so that your dog knows this isn't just about putting his bum on the ground, it's by keeping it on the ground. Good. So a few times, typically about 5 times, but only until your pup has completely understood the command. Sit. Oh. Remember, don't hold your hand up here where your puppy is going to jump. Bring it down. It's okay if your puppy keeps backing off or just doesn't sit. Keep holding your hand there. Make sure it's low enough, because eventually they'll put their bum down on the ground. So, sit, and now I release treat. Free! Be careful not to release any treat when your puppy is not doing the right thing. Then they can't tell what was right and what was wrong. Sit. Free. Sit. Free. Good. Now that Baxter understands the sit command, I'll ignore that he offers me the bang bang play dead command, and instead I will gesture with my hand as if I have a treat in my hand to make sure that he looks up. Sit. Good boy. And then I give a treat. And free. And sit. Good. And treat. And of course I want him to know that sitting and stay sitting is good, so I'm going to give him more than one treat before I release him. Free! It's on purpose that I taught you how to train drop before sit. That's because when you do that, drop tends to become the dog's default command. Whereas if you teach sit first, sit position tends to become the default command. I prefer that dogs drop because, as I explained, it calms them down more. But nevertheless, of course, your dog should know how to sit as well. If you've taught drop command before the sit command, it isn't uncommon that your puppy will drop whenever you tell them to sit. If you are planning on participating in obedience trials, then you need to correct your dog for that and bring them back into the correct position. However, if you're just planning to live a normal pet life with your puppy, then you don't need to worry about it. Whether they're sitting or dropping doesn't matter to me as long as they stay where you told them to stay. Baxter, come. Come. Sit. Just let him think about it, don't rush. What can you do? sit. Yes. Good boy. Free. Okay. Now it's time to go to phase 3, where we're actually getting rid of the treats. So you've been familiar with both phase 1 and phase 2 through our previous episodes. Now it's time to move on to phase 3. Watch this. I first command him sit, and then I release him without having given him a treat. Free! And then I sit, command him again while he's kind of in his funk going, did you forget to give me a treat? What happened? Did I drop it? Did you drop it? What happened? Free! Because if I command him straight away again, then he goes, oh, well, here's another chance. I'll just try again, and I'll try even harder. Free! And sit. Free! And sit. Good boy. You've got this. Free! Now I can start going sit. Free! And a second time, sit. And free! And a third time, sit. And I'll reward this time. And so from now on, whenever I train my sit, I add on an extra repeat where I don't give the treat. So skip, skip, treat. Skip, 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 treat. Skip, 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 treat. And that's how you fade out your use of treats.